Hi guys, Mr. Hampson here, and welcome back to art. So today we get to make our first project. Now, before we start step 3, I want to start to talk about this billboard up here. What's this all about? The reason I have a billboard on display, I want you to think of your rectangle as a billboard. Now, a billboard it serves a purpose, usually for advertisement. What's on a billboard should be easy to see from very far away. So what we're going to do, we're going to think of our rectangle as a billboard. And you are going to be advertising something very important, something about yourself that I want to know and I want to learn about all of you as quick as possible. The thing that you're going to advertise, your name. So, you ready to get started? A billboard. Now yes, there are sometimes some billboards that are more successful than others. I'm going to show you an example of 2 billboards which might help you when creating your billboard design. So here are 2 billboards. Billboard number 1, Megamind. Billboard number 2 over there, Hammer Visual. I don't know what it says. There's 2 problems with billboard number 2. For one, it's way too dark. But number 2 is that those letters are really small. Even if it was a bright sunny day, it would be hard for me to see billboard number 2. The artist who designed the Megamind billboard did a great job of using scale. The scale is the size of the letters. So the scale of their Megamind letters is really large and really easy to see. When you design your billboard, try to make the size of your name as big as possible. But let's not start yet. Let's look at 2 more billboards. Here we have billboard number 1 and billboard number 2. Now, billboard number 1, I like the idea. Yes, it does make me hungry, but I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Is that a billboard for McDonald's, for Burger King, for Wendy's? It's really hard to read those words inside the cup, and I bet they would tell me something about the restaurant that I'm supposed to go to. Billboard number 2 was kind of clever. Their words are really easy to read. Now the reason they're so easy is contrast. Contrast is opposites, really. So the background color is very different, it's opposite than the color that they used for their letters. The artist who designed billboard number 2 was kind of clever. Bright white lights on a dark background, super easy to read. When you design your name, your billboard, I want you to color it in with colors that create good contrast. Now, some of you may already know a lot about color. When we're talking about contrasting colors, what we're talking about is our complementary colors. They're the colors that are very different. So, let's go through our complementary colors. Sports and art. Now, Knicks, Mets, and Islanders are all 3 of my favorite teams. And they use 2 great complementary colors. They use the colors blue and orange. Blue and orange are completely opposite on the color wheel. That's how we know that they make good contrast. When we hear the word contrast, we think opposite. If we look opposite on the color wheel, we can find colors that have good contrast. Blue and orange, excellent colors for contrast. Let's see if we can find some more. Purple and yellow. Now, if you're a sports fan, you probably already knew this because there's a lot of sports teams that use purple and yellow. They use them because they have great contrast. Their jerseys are going to stand out really well. Their logos are going to be easy to see. And let's see if we can think of some at home. I'll give you a few seconds. Sports teams that have purple and yellow. Did you get any of this? The Lakers, the Vikings use purple and yellow. Great contrast. And there's another set of complementary colors. Red and green. Now, I'm a big sports fan, but there's not a lot of sports teams that use red and green. I think they maybe are afraid of being called the Christmas team. I don't know. There are some, though. So I'll give you another couple seconds. See if you can think of a sports team that uses red and green as their colors. You got any? I'll help you out. The Minnesota Wild and the Milwaukee Bucks both use red and green complementary colors, and they did this because these colors stand out really well. So these are our complementary colors. We have purple and yellow, green and red, blue and orange. But there are still great color options. We can still create great contrast with different colors. For example, blue and red is an excellent color for jerseys and for sports teams. And it's excellent because blue is really dark and red is nice and bright. When we put them next to each other, it creates a strong contrast. Colors that are close together on the color wheel do not have great contrast. I would not want to take my billboard, write my name, color in my letters yellow, and my background orange. They would blend together. I also wouldn't want to use pink and red. They're almost the same thing. It would be really hard to see my name. It would not stand out. There would be no contrast. So, when you design your billboard, after you write your name really big inside this rectangle, I want you to color in the letters of your name with one color, and I want you to choose a color in the background that you think will make your letters pop, have great contrast, and stand out. That way, I will be able to read it nice and clear from really far away. So, you ready to get started? Your folder. Let me set up my iPad to look more like your folder. There we go. Big rectangle. Now you're using your pencil. You're going to press lightly because we don't know what lines will keep and which ones will get erased. So always press lightly when using your pencil and sketching. So here we go. I'm going to use a light color like your pencil, and I'm going to write my name really big inside this box. I'm going to write my last name. I want you to write your first name. I know some people have a long first name. Try to make it fit, or your other option is you could use a nickname. So first name really big. Here's my last name really big. Hampson. H. A. Oh, I don't like that. I'm going to erase. I can erase very easy. Boop. But you're going to use your pencil. M. P. S. O. N. Nice and big. Fill the entire box like that. So you can So we wrote our name inside our box with a pencil and we pressed lightly. Now we're going to take our pencil and we're going to go around the shape of our letters. So the first letter I'm going to go around is my letter H. I trace around the shape of my letter H. And back to where I started. After you go around the shape of your letters, you can erase the inside and there will be a bubble box version of the letter. This is why it's very important we press lightly. We want these lines to get erased completely, so always press soft. Now I'm not going to do my full name. I don't want to waste your time watching me draw. I'd rather have you guys draw, but I'll do a couple more letters so you can see how it works. Let me do the letter P. This one can be tricky. So I go all the way around and back to where I started. Here's why letter P can be tricky. I can't forget a very important part, the inside of the letter. I have to trace the inside of the letter too. And letter O is the same tricky letter. I gotta go all the way around, back to where I started, and I have to remember to do the inside of this letter too. So here we go, eraser out, erase the inside of the letter, and I have a great bubble letter P. Erase the inside of the letter, and I have a great bubble letter O. So I want you to do this to all your letters. Now if your letters start getting really close together, it's not a problem. It actually, sometimes it makes the name look a lot cooler. We're going to overlap our letters. I don't have a lot of space left for the letter S, but look what I can do if I want to get tricky and fancy. I can go overlap behind the letter O. This is some advanced bubble letters right here. Erase my S. And now it's overlapping. Now the letter S is behind the letter P and O. Now please, don't feel like you have to do that, but if you want to, it's fun. It makes it a lot more interesting. It's something you can do, and it might happen on accident when your letters get squished together. So what I want you guys to do, this is the end of art class, I want you to take the rest of today and just trace around your letters, erase the inside of your letters so that we have our bubble box name. And we're going to continue this project next art class with color. So if you're coming into the art room next art class, bring this with you. We'll color it in together. All right, guys. Excellent. This was a long art class. Thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for watching the whole thing. And thanks for doing an awesome job.